What's up?
What's going down,
Take
y'all?
a little bit of time off. The next thing, people dead. Christmas songs getting banned. All kinds of stuff's going on. It's crazy. I'm Jared, by the way.
I am Josh. Good to be here, brother.
What's up?
What's up, y'all?
Here's to you.
Here's our life. Here's to you.
Nothing too fancy.
No, just the champagne of beers, baby.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, for basic American fare. I know we probably mentioned this 1,000 times on here, but I think we're both of the
It
same
says
mind.
Miller on it anywhere. Go
Yeah.
roll with it.
Yes, sir. I completely agree. This is for you, Ben Hop.
Everything else is just bull mess. Oh, and while we're talking about food and getting down to what's good, a shout out to Chris Cox, because we agreed on the waffles and KFC being total a waste of time, and went out and tried the maple bacon chicken sandwich, whatever the heck it's called at Wendy's, and it's worth the drive.
That's awesome.
That's all you need to know, just worth the drive.
That commercial's been doing a number on me, and then the man mentioned earlier to me that it was good, and it's like, man, that's got to happen, man. That's got to go on the calendar.
Yeah, this time of year, I'm just like addicted to the Arby's fried turkey sandwiches. So when I'm not having one of those, that's what I'll be getting. But it's dang good.
I was at Arby's a couple of days ago. I was telling the man earlier, and I looked for I was not certain if they were still doing seasonal fish or if they just added that. And apparently it is seasonal, which is totally okay.
That'll be back soon.
It stays special, exactly. But man, apparently the gyros are there for good, which I'm thrilled about because I love those stupid things. Man,
Cool.
You get yourself a couple of gyros, man, and order them. I think it's pronounced Shidzaki. I think it's how you say it. I just say that sauce. But I think it's Shidzaki because I want to sound all cool and cultured like I know how to pronounce the word. And I probably don't. But man, just get it on the side. And I only suggest doing it on the side because it's like the tartar sauce on the fish. It's real good, but man, they are generous. Oh, baby. So just get it in a cup on the side. What's up, brother?
We out. We just got horsey.
Yo, some horsey, yo. Man, I want to, man, can I get a vanilla shake? Yo, some horsey sauce in that. Horsey shake.
That's all we got.
That's all we got.
Horsey toast.
You want some horsey sauce? I'll put it on the ice cream for you. Our machine works. We're not McDonald's.
It's same crap. It's same crap,
Seriously,
kid.
for real, man. Horsey sauce, Arby's sauce. Why they think it's different? You're stupid.
We put pepper in one of them, the other one we don't.
The other one we don't. There's two.
Yeah, it's down. We'll bring it up to you.
Bring it right to you. They started putting curly fries on the roast beef sandwich. Guess what else is on there? Horsey sauce.
You don't want to know.
That's right, man.
Man, just couldn't get through this show quick enough. But anyway, if you want to enjoy the TLC show and fast forward to the end, that's really about all you have to do.
I think that both of us can speak probably for the majority of people watching it, that we literally got together. Well, we got together to watch it for two reasons. One, it's always fun hanging with a man. But also, we knew what we were here for. I think everybody knew what they were in the house for.
Yeah.
And it's...
That's why I don't know what's wrong with me now.
That's
Too
horsey
much
sauce.
toast.
Yeah, for real.
The thought crossed my mind, like, maybe we'll get lucky and they'll put this on first, we can just turn it off, knowing the whole time that they ain't going to do that.
Yeah.
But everybody was there to see the match at the end, so that's really about all there is to it, you know?
Yep, it's the truth, man. I mentioned to J-Rad during the actual match that if you followed the show, you know this kind of applies to both. Definitely 2/3 applies to both of us, and probably actually across the board, it's both of us. If you told me a year ago that I could book a women's three-way for a championship, who would I pick? Exactly who they put in there.
Yeah.
And I love it. I think it's real cool. How we would have got there would have been a lot different, as is the case, I think, with most fans, because we all have our own ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But that we got that match and that they burnt it up the way they did is not a surprise. All you got to do is look at those kendo shots, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's three people that really trust each other and are like, it's the old Jericho Benoit thing of like, hey, just don't knock my teeth out.
Yeah.
And man, Charlotte and Becky definitely have that going back to NXT. And Asuka, I think, kind of has that deal with everybody, whether she's verbalized it or not. So she hits hard, man. I mean, it's very cool. But man, such a good, unbelievably physical and gross. There were some gross spots, man. I thought Becky took a couple. Charlotte took 3 or 4.
Becky onto the ladder.
That
was
hurt.
nasty. And Charlotte going into the table wasn't. When you just hear that, what's the big deal? It's like when you see the angle she went, how it's like
it's like
stopped
straight
at
at
the
back
bottom.
of the head, and then the shoulders slid down and broke the bottom of it. It's just like, I mean, it is concussion. Yeah, it is Gronkowski to the back of the head, concussion city. Like, oh, yuck.
Yeah.
And then, man, I can't believe I don't remember what the other one was. Oh, the
Becky off
Exploder.
the ladder.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty rough.
Yeah.
But that little short-range Exploder into the table that was standing up against the wall, that might not even been that rough of a thing, but boy, it looked like it. It looked like, man, y'all got no room to pull that off. That's rough, man.
I think that one came after it. It looked like all her ribs had been busted.
Yeah, man.
Ladder.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like, oh my Lord.
I apologize. The Asuka Dewey the Bear spot.
Yeah.
We were convinced that Asuka was supposed to take that bump too, and she
Yeah,
went Dewey the Bear from semi-pro. I'm out.
Screw this match.
I'll see y'all later, man. You're stupid.
And then square on my face.
For real, man, sucker. But allow me to, pull the ripcord on the parachute of crap. The end sucks. The end. The result is very cool. I was totally cool with the result. Any of the 3 of them could have won, but I'm assuming you're not watching this, so saying the result's not a problem. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil the crap
If you're
out
going to
of
sit
it.
down and watch a review before you actually watch the show, then too bad.
Spoilers happen, man. I'm good with Asuka having the belt primarily because, like I was telling Jared, man, I am a firm believer from being a little kid and growing up with Dusty and Tully that I understand that Flair and Dusty is Flair and Dusty, but in so many other times, it's Flair and everybody. But like and I know it's Rick and Dusty, but maybe it's just the time I grew up, man. I think more of Dusty and Tully because they were killing each other. Sometimes it was over the TV title, but usually it was over just them wanting to kill each other. Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of rivalries that don't need championships. And sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. When you blow off Gargano and Ciampa, that don't need to be for the title. And Charlotte and Becky can keep going on without either one of them being the champ, and it's totally okay, man, because you just want to see them work. They're awesome. They are so awesome. It'll be fine. And Asuka can go this way and hopefully not do what you were saying. I hope, but you might. You're probably right.
Well, when she pulled down the title, my first instinct was a Carmella Asuka rematch at Mania.
Ellsworth can't help her this time.
Yeah, hopefully, I think what will happen is you'll have Asuka with the title go on to face Nia. You have Charlotte, I'll say, win the Royal Rumble. Becky win the Elimination Chamber, and they both say, "Screw challenging whatever show we're on. We both want Ronda." And then that's how you get to the three-way.
The three-way. Yeah, I think that would work, man.
I don't know any other way to do it other than just say, forget the rules.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
This is the only
It's the only time SmackDown and Raw get together ever.
It's the only time they ever do it.
Yeah, man. And of course, we got to wait till tomorrow and see what the shake-up is. You want to shake things up, man. When they play that old man's music, boo the crap out of him because it's his fault. It's all his fault, and it won't matter anyways. I'm gonna change nothing up because unless Fox takes that check back, nothing's gonna change. But
If you want to mix things up, when they play his music, get up and leave.
Leave for real, or better yet, turn the TV off.
Yeah.
But yeah, just that stuff is frustrating.
It'll still be Baron Corbin's fault.
Yeah, it's Baron Corbin's fault. Man, I was telling Jared, man, I feel bad, man, but
It's going to show up and blow up, and it'll still be Benoit's fault.
For real, man. I like Baron Corbin's new look. I'm glad he let it go.
Needed to change.
Especially if like we talked about earlier, if the signing of Punishment Martinez was on the horizon even then, much better to make. It's like War Machine and Killian Dane, I think was the guy's name that used to have that look. You got to make a choice. You can't have them running out there looking the same.
Yeah, that's my gimmick, brother.
Yeah, man. So good for you guys to go with Punishment, and that's cool. But man, I swear, dude, he's out there. He's got his little fresh shaved head, and I told Jared, I was like, man, he honestly looks like a vibrator with Jerry Lawler's beard, and he does. It's like, man, that is a smooth looking individual, man. That is one.
It's one of those points about the new look that didn't really dawn on me until tonight when you see him walking out this match that nobody wanted to see.
No kidding.
It's like you have the new clean cut look, you have the new gear that's totally dumb, but you keep the same music. So why?
It's got a little wolf logo, and I was complaining about it. It's stupid. It's very, very stupid. But the only thing about Baron Corbin that I ever even liked was I thought the little like red lights that came on, like the red spotlight. I loved that, and I hated to see it go. Cool. Yeah, that was sharp. I'm like, oh, I hate that's gone, man. But anyway, it's all good. Something I read online, man. Our feed got funky, but it worked for the match we wanted to see. So I don't
luckily
mind.
that got fixed, man. I
don't mind.
I'm used to the network being kind of laggy and retrieving.
Retrieving. We're doing it, sir. We're retrieving. Would you like
the nozzle is retrieving.
Would you like some horsey sauce?
Yes.
While you wait.
And so that, but it was like a straight up reboot of the whole system tonight that had to sit through. And luckily, it didn't miss any that I wanted to see.
Yeah, the
so
thing
it worked out a lot.
I'm right there with you, man. The thing I most wanted to see, we totally got to see. I heard that Ronda and Nia were good. I did think that was we discussed it during the show, man. That was the forcing Ronda Rousey into the first TLC match sucked. I mean, it gets you where you want to be, and it's probably better to do it that way because she's got vengeance against both of them, and it's not that it doesn't make sense. It's just that I liked what the three of them did so much. I would have liked a different ending better, but for storylines, I guess if you got to do it, you got to do it. But it's a bummer.
She just, no matter if she's happy, she walks weird. If she's mad, going to the ring, she looks weird. She's just awkward in everything she does.
It's a strange thing because like Ronda's mean face looks more pouty than they want it to, and I don't know, but it was always like that because she used to do that thing at the UFC weigh-ins. It looked the same way. She just had that like pouty little look on her face, man, and then.
Not good enough of an actor.
Amanda Nunes knocked it out. I hate to be so mean because I really like what she's doing now, and I'm glad she is where she is. But I love all this baddest woman on the planet stuff. They just don't even talk about. I mean, Holly Holm I know was first, and Holly was a sweet piece. So I'm really glad she won that fight because it made her forever. But man, Amanda Nunes. It's kind of strange. Amanda Nunes was like the Holyfield to Ronda Rousey's Tyson because they've got that great 30 for 30 chasing Tyson. I love Mike Tyson. But man,
messed him up.
People give Mayweather such crap about, he ducked Pacquiao, when in reality, Pacquiao's the one that wouldn't pee in a cup. I've never understood how that's Mayweather's fault. If you want this guy to put his championship and his undefeated legacy on the line, and all he's asking you to do is pass a drug test, and then your guy, Freddie Roach, goes to Vegas and says, okay, hypothetically, what happens if Manny fails the test? How is this Mayweather's fault? Oh, that's right, he's the black guy. I forgot. He's the one ducking the white enough to be the white guy. Obviously, I'm still frustrated by that. I'm also frustrated by people that still will insist you that Pacquiao won that fight because Mayweather absolutely outclassed him just like he does with everybody else. There are people that don't like Floyd for his personal life. That's completely okay. But just don't watch his fights because he still gets paid. If you dislike him for being a wife beater, hey, man, it's really easy not to pay for his fights. I have yet to do it myself. But the Pacquiao thing is very frustrating because anyway, I don't mean to get off on that. That's dumb. But anyway, the point about the Tyson thing was that documentary is about how Holyfield had to chase him around for years before he'd fight him. And then Evander kind of beat him up. And it wasn't, Tyson was past his prime. He was. He was. And, Tyson would have killed him in his prime. Maybe, but he didn't think he would. And that's the point, is that Tyson looked at Evander and saw a scary thing to decode. And it's like that, because all that, he's the baddest guy in the world, just kill anybody. Mike's a lot smarter than people thought he was. And he's a much better fighter than people thinks he thought he was too. So if you look at Evander and it's like, I don't know about this one. It's the same thing. That was Amanda Nunes, because Nunes only ever got to fight Rousey because she'd already lost one, and it's like, okay, well, this is kind of what we have to do. And Nunes killed her, absolutely killed her, to the point that she's a pro wrestler now. And all of us wound up better off for that. So here's to you.
There you go.
But it is strange to me that after every fight she has, you just see, it was a lot better than I thought.
Yeah.
I've absolutely accepted that she's a good pro wrestler,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I know we're on the same page there, man. Oh, I just did my John Cena thing.
Yeah, you
Which,
will.
why is anybody surprised that John's never coming back?
Nah.
The second he cut his promo on The Rock about "I'll be here forever because I'm full time. You come on back here and get your WrestleMania paycheck, but I'm full time. Can't see me." It's like, yeah, the second
Nobody's asking you to do anything else.
Tina Fey asks you to be the little bodyguard guy in her horrible movie, and that hurts me to say because I love Tina, but stepsisters was god awful.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the second you get an opportunity to get a crack at that guy's bank account, you're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone, and that's okay. It's completely all right, but I think it's stupid to write promos like that, to send tweets like that. It's like, man, you're gonna have to live with that crap forever.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, man. It's like,
come back around.
Yes, don't make yourself a damn hypocrite, moron. I think stuff like that's stupid, man. Because now you look stupid, and you're still second banana because you're not gonna get rock money for any of these crap movies you do. Bumblebee, great, good for you.
Yeah, man. All right, that's great.
I can't wait to not see that one.
Man, that's one of the things I feel bad about, and I just plain got to stop. I won't stop watching trailers. I'll watch the first trailer, then that's all I'm watching.
I understand.
That way with the Captain Marvel trailer the second trailer that recently came out, didn't watch it. Don't want to see it. I know I'm going to go watch it in the first place.
I'm the same way, brother.
I watched the Endgame trailer. I don't like that title. Even just for the fact that I felt like that point got hammered in pretty bad in Infinity War. Anyway, I watched the trailer that they put out. Didn't really like it. Still going to go watch the movie anyway. So whatever they do after this, I will avoid. My problem with the Bumblebee trailer is it looks good. I don't want it to look good.
I don't want it to look good.
Nothing about the Bumblebee stuff looks good to me, but it was a really quick glimpse, and I didn't realize how hardcore they were going with this. And it's not in the first trailer that came out. It was one of those things like scrolling through Facebook and you see something that you're kind of like, whoa, was I supposed to see that? But right at the end of one of the clips, there's a straight up G1 looking Optimus Prime that's hopefully in the movie. And when I saw that, I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Don't do this to me, y'all.
It's the way it was supposed to have always been.
Yeah, man.
And Starscream being the main bad guy in the movie, he doesn't hurt anything. So I'm like, huh?
I can dig it, man.
So I haven't watched Transformers movies since the first one. That's how much.
That's a good enough gap.
I despised it. So this is the one I'm kind of like, I might be back, and it'll be here soon. So I'll probably get to find out. Plus, I got some money left on a gift card, and I can see it for nothing. So that helps.
Can't go wrong with seeing them for nothing, man.
It helps a lot. So I might have to go check that one out.
Yeah, man, my eyeballs are still factory when it comes to Transformers movies that aren't the animated one, because I did see that one 1,000 years ago, and that sucker holds up. It's still very good.
Oh yeah.
But the the Marvel stuff.
The Transformers movie to me is kind of like the Batman movie. When I say the Batman movie, I mean the Batman 66 movie. I will take that movie any day of the week over any of those old episodes.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I will sit down and watch the Transformers movie over any, and I'm not calling any of it bad. Just that to me, that's like such a good the best episode there ever was.
Yeah, man.
That's the way the old Batman movie was to me. It's the way the Transformers movie was to me. Like, this is the best of all of them.
Yeah, I can dig that.
Get everybody in there. Everybody gets their ish in.
Yeah, there's a lot of the old cartoons. It's just not my thing anymore. There's a couple that are really good. Like Thundercats is very good.
Yeah.
She-Ra is incredibly good. I can't believe how good that story is. But yeah, for the most part, you just let them go. And Transformers is definitely one I'm with you on. But yeah, if you want to watch the movie, that guy holds up. It's still good.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Endgame, which Jared can tell you, man. The Avengers stuff, I'm so in on. I know I'm good. Captain Marvel, I missed the teaser, and then I think I missed the second one, and then I got the third one or something like that. I caught it on TV And there was one thing in it that made me very, very happy, and it's just the shot, like the reveal for popping out in space, and you get a twofold reveal. One, the costume's red and blue. Jesus Christ, calm down about the green. First of all, if you know anything about the Kree, you know what the green is all about, so stop it. But man, people lost their minds over that green costume. It's like, y'all, hang in there, it'll be okay. So in one shot, you get not only the red and blue costume, but you get the Hawk too. And it's like, there you have it. Mohawk, red and blue costume. Everybody can relax now.
Yeah.
For the love of God. Looking forward to that. I'm with you. Avengers, I'm going to go watch anyway, so it's all good. Endgame, I haven't really decided if I like the name or not, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's all good.
Whatever. It's called Avengers #4, and I'll be there.
Avengers #4, #2. Yeah, it's cool, man. I got to go watch everybody die and see where we're going from here, man. Because I know where I want them to go, but we'll see.
One of the things that even the teaser trailers, I've gotten to the point where like, look, man, I only need to watch these because they're so notorious for putting stuff in the trailer that's not going to be in the actual movie anyway.
Oh God, people are still whining about the Hulk in the scene in Wakanda, and then he wasn't there
to throw you off.
I still don't understand why anybody wanted Hulk to show back up in that movie. You saw him get beat up, and you had an existential crisis. The only way you can end that movie is to have it happen again.
Yeah.
When he comes back for Endgame, he gets to win. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be way better. But I mean, God, if you couldn't handle watching him get punched twice, you darn sure can't handle watching him get his ass whipped a second time. So just relax, man.
If Bruce Banner dies, then we talk about the Endgame.
That'd be sweet. That'd be cool. I'm trying to figure out how everybody's gonna go because I'm with you. I think.
But my deal with what's in the trailer, I don't know if that's going to be in the movie, is you have the whole Scott Lang show up at the end. You're like, why would you even put that in your teaser trailer, considering how Ant-Man and the Wasp ended? You're kind of like, y'all really are kind of screwing this up, don't you think? So that's the part where I'm kind of like, well, keep in mind that that's probably it's not real.
It's not good.
So that's what it's boiling down to. It's like, man, I'm just not going to watch trailers anymore. They're hard to avoid at the movie theater, but
picture show.
Not impossible to avoid. You could just wait outside, but I want to get a good seat too. So it makes it kind of, at least theater wise, they're usually more finalized and kind of. Not just a teaser, but an actual trailer.
These people aren't in the movie anymore. That'd be awesome, man.
They moved on. So anyway, but what were you saying about the whole Endgame? I don't particularly like the title, but it's like whatever. Call it whatever you want to.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's cool as long as considering that if people are still going to be waiting around for Avengers 5, they need to get over it. I can get past that. I think that's a good way to do it. I think it'd be good if they retired the title. I think that I just can't imagine anybody coming back. I mean, I know you're not going to get rid of everybody, but I'm pretty sure Steve's gone, Thor's gone. It's cool, but that's okay, man, because people want to move into A-Force anyway. It's like, well, I think they should do an all-girls Avengers movie. And like, yeah, they could do that. They could totally do that. And you know me, man. My whole thing is I really want the next universe to be centered around Scarlet Witch as the bad guy. Because, man, people thought they liked Thanos as a bad guy. We get to see what made Wanda, kind of go off the rails, I hope anyway. So I would love that. And part of it also is I really like Elizabeth Olsen. So her and, for Pete's sake, man, Brie Larson being like, yeah, this is it. This is where we're going. Because it just seems to me that reshuffling the deck, if your Avengers leads are Brie Larson and Benedict Cumberbatch and Chadwick Boseman and, who am I forgetting? I'm sorry, man. But that's your main three.
That's the core.
That's your new big three, yeah. And then you have Elizabeth Olsen as your main bad guy. I think that would be awesome. And Scarlet Witch is really, it's not surprising because Scarlet Witch has been Jared and I've discussed this for a long time, man. I love the Avengers. I've loved the Avengers since I was a little kid, and then I went back and read the old stuff from before I was born, and it's great, like the 70s stuff, some of the Steve Englehart stuff still holds up so well. It's worth reading now. You got to put up with the wordiness of old school comics, but it's still, man, Korvac Saga and darn, I can't think of what the other one I like so much is. Under Siege is actually, I'm pretty sure it's Roger Stern, and that's Under Siege is really good, but man, it's not depressing. But Korvac, and there's another great one. I like Celestial Madonna. I thought that was really cool. But Celestial Madonna, if you read it now, it's so different to read it now because I can't read it out of, I can't remember her doggone name, but the lady that plays Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy. Mantis is so different in the movies than she is in the book. And she's such a sweet pea in the movies that you want her to be like that in the book. Boy, she ain't. But I still read it in that voice, and it's like, man, this doesn't make any sense. But I love that stuff. And there's so many. The way I've always broken it down, and I believe this is true as well, man, you've always had the big three. It's very cool, man. You got Tony, you got Steve, you got Thor. Always got the big three. But the characters beyond them that, in a lot of ways, for a lot of people, define Avengers fandom are Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, Vision. I mean, they're like almost more important than the others because the others always had their solo books, and they were always a big deal as solo books. Man, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, Vision, they don't really have solo books. I come to Avengers for these people. Yeah. So it's kind of neat to have them come back around. But man, Scarlet Witch has always been such a very, very insanely popular character that I like that the movie version's catching a lot of that traction too. A lot of folks are into it, so I'm like, yeah, man, let's make her prominent. I like it because the idea of celestial cosmic power in Captain Marvel versus freaking stinking magic, and you've got, I just like the idea of Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch being a tag team and then not. Yeah, man, I think that's going to be really fun. And I don't know if that's what, I haven't done any searching for like spoilers or any ideas or even just, like fanfic of what people think is going to happen, but I would love it if that's what they wound up doing.
So daggum many.
Oh yeah, man, dude, you could never.
I think I've seen it feels like every possible scenario is tried to been argued. Like, one of you have got to be right, and you're going to try to act like you're, some type of genius. Like, come on.
That's better. It's better to sit back and let people pat themselves on the back for having gotten it right than it is to try and be Vince McMahon and change your plans at the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th hour, and then you wind up with this 6th run retread of a story that nobody likes. It's like, dude, it's not hard to be original. It's not difficult to be original if you go with an idea that nobody wanted to have in the first place. It's no good, man. But I'm with you. It's just, I'm trying to, stupid as a way to do it, but to try and to figure it out from like, okay, who's under contract and who gets paid the most? Because these are going to be the people that you build around. So we're trying to do it that way. The fourth Avenger is saying that those are the three mains. The Spider-Man kid, he'll still be around too. That's who I forgot earlier. Tom, whatever his name is, I can't ever remember.
But he's, kind of like one of those characters you're talking about. It's like, man, he's going to have his own movies going on so much. Just like, man, are you really an Avenger or not? That kind of
No. Thing. Spider-Man, Wolverine, they've never been Avengers. Sorry, Mr. Bendis. I know that you shoved them in new Avengers to sell copies. They're not Avengers. Benjamin Grimm.
You don't count.
Benjamin Grimm's an Avenger. Hank McCoy. My favorite Avenger that I never think to list among my favorite Avengers because McCoy and Scarlet Witch, man, they are the two that just bounced back and forth between the X books and the Avengers books, and it was all good. It's amazing when you think about Wanda that she never really had that. I mean, recently there was one not too long ago that was a Scarlet Witch series. But in the 70s and the 80s, man, when X-Men was, 70s was Avengers, 80s was very interesting. That's kind of fun to do, man. Like, who was the Marvel super team for each decade? In the 60s, it was the Fantastic Four. In the 70s, it was the Avengers. In the 80s and 90s, it was the X-Men. And it's probably stayed X-Men ever since then. Until recently with the movies. Now everybody's back on Avengers. But still, man, it's just, I always forget that. And then I'll bust out some of those books that Beast is in. And I'm like, oh, man, I love these. And then She-Hulk bridges between Avengers and Fantastic Four and her own thing, which that's something that's been my recent comic book get Back in the day, man, I had the John Byrne, the first trade. And I say the first one because I thought it was the only one for a long time. And it's a long story that I won't really get into, man, but I got in a situation where I wanted to put this gift together for a really good friend of mine. And it was a TV series. And, man, I got, like, right up to the last set that I needed. And I was in a position where I could trade that book into Amazon and basically get that set for $4. So I did it, and it was real cool. And the reason I did, I knew that book was out of print, but I'm like, man, it's only 8 issues. If they're never going to do the other ones, why bother? Because I could buy all the individuals, but I just hate long boxes. I've got one, but I don't like it. I like my stuff being out. I like to be among my collection. I think it's fun. Yeah. Well, of course, they've gone now, and they've reprinted all the second half Byrne stuff, but you can get that. It's out, and you can get it on Amazon. And our local comic shop had a copy of that first one, so I went down and bought that sucker. So it's John Byrne collection of She-Hulk, and I'm happy to say it is back in the shelf. So now I've got the essential Savage She-Hulk, which is useless. I mean, there's nothing to it, but I still have it. Then the good stuff begins. We've got Byrne, and I've got the second half Byrne on the Christmas list, so we'll see about that. And then I've got the 2 Dan Slott books, which are Dan Slott's She-Hulk is like, that is in my Mark Waid's Fantastic Four is like probably my favorite superhero comic or Marvel comic of all time. It's just incredible. Dan Slott's She-Hulk is in that conversation. Yeah. It is that good, man. I love it so much.
Yeah, man. I've gotten to do some of that recently, of bringing some stuff home.
Yeah, man.
I've bought and sold a couple different times, but I think this time it's for real.
It's for real, man. We're putting the marriage back together, man.
It's gonna be awesome.
Reunion tours, greatest hit albums, you name it. Woo. I like it because I'm with you, man. It's always nice to get that stuff back when if you get rid of it and you regret it. It's like, oh. So that's good. Yeah, for real, man. I feel like you took a bump in that Charlotte match.
Heck yeah, man.
Oh, my job is awful. Your job is awful. Excuse me. I think that's been about the only well, I did have one other purchase, ridiculous though it is. The man has had to, he's tolerated me bouncing around to Walmarts because this time of year, every year, when they put the trading cards out, you have hoops, you have Don Russ. There are other basketball sets, but I don't care about the rest of them. I like hoops. I like Don Russ.
That reminds me of something about those.
Man, you do your thing, bro.
No, man. Talking about the hoops and Don Russ thing is the same thing when we were out looking at some the other night, and they had the holiday sets.
Oh yeah.
They had the stupid snowflakes falling on all of them. I thought that was just those were inserts. It's every card.
That's terrible.
Now, there are some of them that have an extra embossed, glittery.
Even more ornaments.
Even worse.
Different series.
But yeah, man, I was kind of on the fence. Should I go ahead and get this because they have it and I can get some of the cards, or wait? But luckily, I did come home and I watched a box break of somebody doing that. I wish I could remember who. But when I saw it was every card. Thank Christ I didn't do that.
Keep your eyes peeled for our bad to worse insert. Good Lord, man.
I'm sorry.
No way. Man, we are all about the trading cards. I like to discuss the trading cards with the man. Hoops and Don Russ. I bought a pack. The first night we found them, Don Russ was all they had. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I think both of us are more like hoops dudes pretty much most years. With the exception for me being last year. The set last year, it was okay, but it wasn't great. But the photography stunk. Every picture is 9 miles away, and I just didn't like them. They didn't do it for me. But the Don Russ cards last year were really cool.
I like a good action shot.
They were good, man. And the borders were kind of funky because they had these. I realize now what they were doing. You go back and you look at old Don Russ trading cards, they've got those little swoopies across the bottom of them, those little weird wavy looking things. And this year they just went full on, reprint the 1983 Don Russ wave. But I was like, okay, that's kind of the effect they were going for last year. Nothing wrong with it. It's just that your border is basically gold picture, more gold, little more picture, and then gold. And it's just that's pretty funky. That's cool, man. So I bought a lot of them last year, really dug it. Interestingly enough, I yanked Lonzo out of the first pack I bought, so I was happy with that. Yes, this is cool.
One and done.
I was like, oh, this is good, man, cool. And then this year, I bought a pack when we were out. And I wound up yanking Dwayne Dedman, which made me happy because the Hawks are a big deal and we love the Hawks, so I got Dwayne. There was other cool stuff in there, but Dwayne was, anybody for Atlanta is going to be the highlight. Excuse me, so I went back out, got myself 2 more packs. Would have done better to just do the one, though, man, because I kid you not, in that pack that I bought, not only was Trae Young in there, but Kevin Huerter was in, no, it was Amari Spellman was in there too.
Sweet.
So now I've got 3 of the 7 Hawks.
Sweet.
Jumped on eBay, found a guy that had the rest of them, man, so I've finished my Hawks Donruss set, and I'm done. It's like, that's it. In and out, no problem. But I got lucky also because in that same pack that had Young and Spellman, LeBron's in there, which is cool because it's him in the Cleveland uniform, but it's got the Laker logo, and it's just kind of cool looking. And Hoops did the same thing. And when you see the cards, especially the Hoops, when it's like, man, no way are they throwing that picture out. It's like, nope, this is we got the picture, man. You can go whatever team you want to. James Harden was in there, which is good because Jared knows that I have this thing that I love to collect MVP cards when you can flip them over. Jared, he used to turn me on to this with the 62 Roger Maris, so you flip it over and get the 61 on the bottom row.
I see it.
Absolutely, man. I like having MVP stats when you flip them over. I did that last year with Westbrook because he was the MVP, but also I was like, man, it'd be neat to have a card where you can flip it over and see a triple-double on it. That's awesome. Well, it turns out Westbrook did it again last year. Got him too. So I just got a lot of boxes ticked, and now I'm like, cool. So now for Christmas and stocking stuffers, I can just ask straight Hoops. Just hook me up because the Hawks, I would like to actually do both sets this year because they're pretty dang cool. And they got different people too, like Bazemore. I don't know if Kent Bazemore has like an exclusive deal with Hoops, but he ain't been in Donruss the last 2 years, so it's possible.
Guys do stuff like that.
They do, yeah, man.
And that's when, even buying a blaster box, there's not enough guys that I want that can justify. It's so much easier just to go buy the team set.
It's true.
That's really what you're going for.
Totally.
You can get it for like, I think $3 whole on eBay. So it's like, man, that's what I need to do, but I just still, I haven't got around to doing it.
Yeah, man, they're all out there, man. A couple of people, it's really cool the way it works now, man. Whenever anyone has like clearly done what you're talking about, where you buy the blaster and you set them all up, and they just give you the drop down menu, and it's basically, this is every Hawk I got. Who do you want?
Yeah, come on, get it.
Yeah, man, and that worked out. And about the only people I need left from the Donruss set is, it's stupid, but I have this thing where, excuse me. My other thing I like to do, I might have mentioned the World Series sets on here before. The World Series set is 5 guys. The NBA championship is excuse me, I didn't mean to curse there. Championship is 3 guys. And so it's Golden State, and again, the hoop stuff looks nice, but the Donruss stuff, they went buck wild on the photography for the Warriors last year was real good. So it's like, okay, so I'm going to get those. But they're a pain in the butt. They were a pain last year, man. I got pretty lucky because I wound up buying so many packs. I got Durant and Curry anyway. So I just had to buy Clay by himself, and it worked. But man, it's like if they play for Golden State, it's like that'll be $3 and $1.25 to ship it. It's like no, it's one card, man. Ship it. Was that something? I wish I had the name of the guy that I bought him from because he did a great thing for me. Because I got, like you said, I got everybody I needed. I got like the 6 I needed for. Well, no, that's not true. It was 4 cards, but I got them for like $3.50 because the guy's shipping was free. So with the shipping being free, what the guy does is take them, put them in a little penny sleeve, put them in the top loader, and throw them in an envelope and stick a stamp on them. Because if it's 2 of them, you can mail it as a letter. So he just did that twice. It wound up being like $1 for the shipping, where if you jam them in an envelope and try to ship it, it's going to be $2.50. So like, good for you, man. Yeah. That's awesome.
That's the way to do it.
Heck yeah, it was very, very cool. Worked out real good for me, so I was pleased.
Yeah.
Made me happy. And they do look good, man. They're very nice. But there's also, it's a strange thing that happens when you put an entire set together. There's a fatigue thing that happens. Like one team is great. 3-4 teams is okay, but man, when you get to 4 or 5 pages of the same thing, for me, they all run together, and I hate that. I like for them to be special and really kind of pop out and do their thing. Like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah,
I think that happens a lot with people that collect inserts too. It's such a smaller group that I can see getting into all those and be like, yeah, there's my set, and then you move to the next one. I can totally see the appeal of that.
Yeah, man. Do you have any thoughts on the United Championship?
Oh, I do, man. I will try and keep it short, but
figured since we hadn't talked to you since that happened.
Lord, it's pretty glorious. It obviously makes me very, very happy to be MLS Cup champs. My favorite thing about it is just, I don't know what the word I want to use is, man. But the like single-minded. It shouldn't even say single-minded, because that's the thing. Having won MLS Cup is an awesome thing. But the thing about Atlanta United is not the team on the field, and it's not the management staff, and it's not the front office, not even the owner. It is literally, when I jump on Twitter, I follow United 2, which is great news. They're going to Kennesaw next year. I am so happy about that, because I love the idea of going and watching them play. But Gwinnett's just a bear. It's just I just can't do it. And fortunately, this is the greatest thing in the world. My dear friend and United tag team partner Darian lives in Kennesaw. She works at KSU. So she lives in Kennesaw. Got to go to the Cup game last year. The Lamar Hunt, the U.S. Open Cup, they played the big team, the senior team played in that stadium. She got to go. And it's like, it's incredible. You got to do it. So now that 2 is going to be there, I can go and watch the game, and I got a place to crash afterwards. So it's fantastic.
Way to do it.
So I'm thrilled about that.
And Kennesaw has an awesome stadium.
No kidding, man. They, for Pete's sake,
We rearranged all the chairs in here.
Yeah.
For Christmas coming up, I've got my old chair, and I forget how I can't feel my butt.
I've gotten spoiled with the other ones too, man. They're Lux. They are Lux, my friends. Let me tell you. High society, just like the champagne I got darn beers. But you look at, I've got I follow United 2. I keep up with a couple of the academy teams. And it's just like there was a score today. Played the under 14s played New York City's under 14s and won 4-0. And that's what you notice about Atlanta United is all the way down. They are so ambitious, and it is so incredible. The club, they call them soccer clubs for a reason, man, because it's like a baseball club. You have minor leagues, you have farm systems, and you just work up from the bottom. And how quickly they have become class at every single level. If you just go in and throw money at the top end, you're the LA Galaxy, and great, here's your cup, and then you'll suck for a couple of years, and then you'll be right back. But what Atlanta's doing is that long-term St. Louis Cardinals style success, where it's just one thing leads to another. I love God, I can't tell you how much I love that they've won the cup. But it's just the way they've gone about conducting business as a club, top to bottom. It's just so exciting.
Maybe it's this way in every city, but especially Atlanta. I mean, they're still on the field celebrating, and people are already naysaying, like, how are they going to keep this team together? It's like, because they have other people coming.
That's the point, is that the guys, the top-level guys, are in town to be the Barco thing. They broke the transfer record to get Barco last year. Next season, he will slot in. I don't know if he's going to slot in straight for Miggy. They're a little bit different. And the kid, I can't believe I forgot his name, but shoot. I've seen his name a couple of times. There's a kid from Argentina that they've kind of got slotted as the guy to be the guy. But when Barco goes, that's the entire point. You spent money on him to make money. Same thing with Miggy, same thing with Joe. If Joe decides to go, that's how soccer works, man, because this idea of getting players and squatting on them, nobody does that. The top clubs in the world are Man United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus. They don't do that. Juventus is a little bit different, man. Italy, it's not that people stay forever. Maldini did, but Maldini he's a comet. But for the most part, there's a lot of turnover because
It's going to be those anomalies.
Sure, there. He was home. That was his dad helped build that club. It was different. But yeah, man, when you look at something like soccer, where there are so many jobs globally, it means there's a lot of paychecks globally. Guys are going to go where the biggest check is. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's my point. I completely agree with you, man. This idea of having this sustainable, if you can just produce your own squad players and then spend your money on, big stars, great. That's okay. But if you can produce the stars, then you've really got something. Then you're Ajax. That's my whole thing about, what club do you want to be? People always say Barcelona because Tata Martino was a Barcelona guy. There's nothing wrong with that because, hey, Barcelona's Barcelona, man. We played that pretty stuff. It's very exciting. And for people that can't just get out of their way because, oh, God, it's very fun. I guess that's my other thing. This is my cruddy reaction, my negative reaction to United being champs is hallelujah. Everybody that hates Atlanta United can now do so with a reason because you're supposed to hate the team that wins all the time. and you're looking at them. I love it. I think it's great because us coming in and, well, they just got that rich owner, and so the league loves them. Now, the league loves us because we organically blew up the profile of the league to a place that it had not been since 1996 when they started the thing. So when you talk about MLS is clearly biased towards Atlanta United, you are damn right they are, man, because they know a good thing when they see it. Now, I will tell you who is not in favor of what's going on in Atlanta, and that is Fox and ESPN. One of the very few things they can get together on, because when your MLS contract comes up, that's if Jeff Bezos doesn't buy it, because all that talk about Amazon football, Amazon NFL, Amazon. The Amazon network is, the idea of them getting in bed with Major League Soccer is not nearly as wild as it sounded when I said it a few years ago.
Yeah.
All these weird ideas that we talk about, man, yeah, Atlanta's going to have an MLS club, and then you start seeing them put it together, and it's like these guys are going to be successful fast, and they just won MLS Cup. Yeah. And the college football playoffs should go to 8 teams, and now all of a sudden that's getting hatched out there. It's great. All of our weird ideas are sprouting now. It's lovely. But the notion of the networks despise us simply because the networks still operate on that New York, LA system, and that worked. And Seattle and Portland blew up. Seattle and Portland that's the best rivalry. It's the reason we've got all the crud with Orlando, because we're trying to emulate that, because it's such a neat thing with Seattle and Portland. But the thing that Seattle and Portland don't do, no matter how popular they are, is affect your television deal. It's West Coast, it's the Western Times, Pacific time zone. It doesn't matter. What time zone's Atlanta in? See, you're on the East Coast and you got primetime marketing. When it comes time to get that contract back up, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay because of Atlanta. And that's why people like Taylor Twellman, people like Alexi Lawless, people, if you've got objectivity and you actually listen to the things they say, as much as Major League Soccer loves us, and they do, oh my God, the broadcasting powers that be despise us because we are going to cost them a crap ton of money. It's the same reason that so many of the NFL owners now hate Uncle Arthur, because they know in 15 years, this is the cash cow. Yeah. He's there now. Yeah. By the time you try to buy your way in, you are literally going to be, it's going to cost you 10 to 15 times, which is why I've said it before, I will say it again. When Jerry Jones went buck wild on him last year over the Goodell thing, and he tried to make it a him versus Arthur Blank thing over Roger Goodell. It's like, no, you're mad because the FC Dallas doesn't play in your big old stadium. And it's a big stadium. You can do what we do, man. Block the top off, man. Just sell the bottom bowl. You'll be okay. Yeah. But the problem now is if you want to do that, it's going to cost you way more than if you've done it on just let's do this adventure and see if we can make some money over here. You'd have got in for peanuts then, and now you know that's not an option. And that's what you got mad about with your eyes too far apart and your Dallas Cowboy and all that. And I really don't mean to pick on Jerry because the NFL, following the NFL as little as I do, Dallas is fun theater. It's always fun. That's my time that I like to watch Skip and Shannon. That's it. That's the only thing I like to hear those guys talk about, because partially Skip Bayless is very entertaining to me when he's talking Dallas. And also Shannon Sharp, for all the criticisms and all the holes in his game as a broadcaster, brother, when the conversation is about professional football, I love listening to that guy talk, because he will get in the deep water of like breaking down schemes, and it's just, I love it. I think it's fascinating. So I need to see if Dallas play today, if I got to set my DVR for tomorrow morning. But anyway, that's a long way to say I'm thrilled that Atlanta.
I think they got the crap beat out of them, if I'm thinking of it.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
It's always fun. It don't matter if they win or not. Because
but I think it's one of those deals when they're like they're in, so it's like, why put the guys out there?
It's a strange thing with that whole division, because they are all so unbelievably terrible. It's the reason I'm a little bit surprised that folks are jumping off the bridge over the Amari Cooper thing, only because the NFC East has been there for the taking. So the idea of adding this like big weapon player as maybe the one thing that makes it different, hey man, take that shot, because the Giants are the only one of them that are just dead. Dead, out of it, no chance. But Washington and the Giants have just eliminated them. And the Eagles won today. They just beat the crap out of the Rams, which stinks, but whatever. But yeah, man, make that move. See if you can get in. And then we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm convinced that the Super Bowl this year is New England, New Orleans, no matter what. So they can keep it. I have no interest. If either one of those teams makes it, I'm not going to watch it, much less if it's both of them. Yeah, it's got no time for that.
Heck yeah. it's just good to have a champion back in
Oh,
Atlanta.
baby.
For,
It's
first time in a long time. And one of the things that I felt like a bandwagoner getting in on this team when I did, because that's exactly what I am. But it's not going to stop me from doing it.
Hey, man.
Just because, I just remember this one particular girlfriend that I would hang out with is negative as hell, attitude all the time about anything, and that it's just this. I hate Atlanta. They always lose. Like, didn't lose in 1995. Like, what team do you pull for? The Cubs. And this was before a few years ago when they had to win. Like, well, don't give me any crap about people that lose.
The frustration I have with the Cubs and the Red Sox is this romantic notion of the loser and, I like pulling for the underdog. I like pulling for the little guy and the underdog. Then you need to stick with your hometown club, because guess what? Everybody is an underdog.
Yeah.
The odds at the beginning of the season are 1 in 30. That's everybody, man.
Yep.
Have some loyalty. Stick around. It actually means something then. And also, I mean, come on, the Cubs, the Red Sox, come on. Those are the easiest teams in the world to bandwagon. That's why the Cubs I have history with, so I can't completely abandon them. The Red Sox I absolutely despise. I hate the Boston Red Sox so much, and it hurts my feelings to say that because Garciaparra and Veritek were both so good up there. But F them, man.
I went through a phase with them. Then when they won, okay, now I'm done.
You know, it's interesting because I think the city of Boston did the exact same thing. Bill Simmons said it on his thing, after since 2004. I'm like, yeah, we tried to tell you guys. The notion of the romantic loser is what you're in love with. It's not the Red Sox. It's being Red Sox fans. Bah, bah, bah. That's what you all like about it, because now, what are they now? 3 championships, and when they win that first one, 04? No, 4. They're up to 4 now because they just won another one.
Yeah.
It's 04. I should remember the years. I think it's 04, 07, and then 2 other ones. I'm sorry, I should remember, but I
I
don't.
get like 2 back to back. After the first one, a break, then like 2, and then this past year, something like that.
They were close, yeah.
I think it's fitting that Arthur's first championship isn't the one with the Falcons like everybody thought it was going to be.
No. Yeah, because the MLS is, and it's
because
weird.
I heard that argument.
Yeah.
Living around here, like, don't you feel kind of sad that Arthur's first championship didn't come with the Falcons? No.
He's got more love for United than he does for the Falcons. Now, I know Falcon fans might not believe that. They might not believe that, but as I've said before, remember.
With all the Atlanta naysaying, I had to admit, watching the game, like, when it came time for Arthur to get out of the box and come down to the field, I was like, oh no.
I understand.
Oh no.
It was strange. I
don't have a good history of that.
I did not watch the game in real time. I just knew I wouldn't enjoy it. So I was like, I'm going to keep my phone out and check on the score, and it's all good. And I recorded it and watched it afterwards. But I just knew that if I watched it in real time, I wouldn't enjoy it. I learned a lot from 2009 watching Georgia Tech play Clemson. That was miserable. I'm like, well, this sucks, man, because I don't like being a sports guy that takes crap too seriously. When I can watch my guys and enjoy it, I'll do it. And when I can't, I turn the channel. There's no reason not to. But it was strange. Got the first goal, and it's like, cool, they're up 1-0, all good. And then the second goal, I saw like a highlight of it or something. And there was just something about it, man, when I saw that second one. It's like, this is in the bag, man. Yeah. I just knew it because they really, man, when you watch them play the game, it was never in doubt. They really went out and had a good spirit, and it was all like, what are y'all talking about this Atlanta stuff for, man? What are you talking about? So it was cool. They did an awesome job, man. I was glad that I was really happy that Tito got subbed in, because Tito Villalba is fantastic. I love that guy. And then it was cool also that Barco got in, just because, man, Barco was our big, signing, and that was fun, man. My favorite thing about it is, true to form, Donington Nagbe played all 90 minutes, and Nagbe's just not one of those guys that's a stat guy. It's just, stats in soccer don't really pile up anyway, but he is not a stat sheet guy. You have to watch him, and then you realize he's probably the most important player on the team. Not the flashiest, not the most, he's not going to have the numbers, but just, he's the dude that basically runs around with the baton and just orchestrates. That's what you want from the midfield, man. You want those engine room guys to be distributors, pace of play, ball winners, which he's unbelievable at that. He does, his tackling doesn't get as much love as it probably should. And Lorenowitz really is more of the hitter. And then I can't believe I forgot his dadgum name again, man. our midseason acquisition, the defensive kid from Argentina. I'm terrible with names, and it's just he's number 11. But he did great work because that was when they got him, it was like, that's the snuffer. That is their playoff push guy right there, because if you come through the midfield, he is going to kill you. He's going to get the ball back to Nagby, and Nagby's going to distribute to Gressel or to man, I'm forgetting all my names now. Anyway, they've been a sweet team all year. They've been a lot of fun all year because, it became kind of a punchline for half an hour when Red Bulls won the Supporters Shield. Remember, they pipped that like 2 weeks from the end of the season. Atlanta United was the best team in MLS the entire year. And then we lose the Supporters Shield right there at the end. And it was just kind of a neat thing because instead of it being like a derailing spiral just in time for playoffs, it was like, all right, well, there's the bump in the road. We're good now. It was crazy. I was nervous till I saw the first playoff game, and it's like, well, these cats ain't messing around. So it was very cool, man, and for such a young team, man. It was kind of a professional hit job. But a lot of that has to do with guys like Lorenowitz, who's been around for a hot minute. Nagby, that's his second cup win. Parkhurst, who finally got one. Guzan, man, these are not spring chickens. These cats are either elder statesmen or just point blank pros, man. It was awesome. I'm thrilled. I'm happy. I'm really happy Joe got him a goal to the final just because it was such a good year. And his MVP acceptance speech was quite cool, man. It was moving because he couldn't get through it. It was real cool, man. And so I guess the next big thing is see how much money we get for Almiron, because I'm pretty sure Miggy's going to wind up in. I keep hearing England. I keep hearing Newcastle's real interested, but I've also seen Spurs and Arsenal. And soccer rumors are like Dave Meltzer, man. You'll see all kinds of stuff, and then when it happens, it's like, okay, so that's what it was real.
Even when it's over, it's kind of let the season start.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. But it's I love it. I'm with you. I'm happy to know there's a nice big shiny trophy in that building.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, oh hell yeah!
We'll see y'all.
Take it easy, y'all.